I loved making this project. To make this wood hinge, first I cut the 5 wooden dowels that are necessary to make the knuckles. I make them all the same size using the miter box, and with the help of a stop block. To be able to drill the holes for the hinge pin well centered in the wooden knuckles, I had to make a support jig and come up with a few extra tricks. This other piece has a smaller diameter. This way, I can now place the knuckle there and hold it to drill it. I mark the center on both ends of each knuckle. And using the metal tip of the wood drill bit, I mark the center, trying to be as precise as possible. But the hard grain of the wood tries to deflect the metal tip toward the soft grain. I am going to use the dowel jig to help keep the hole vertical. After many tests, I discovered that a stop block here is a great help to keep the dowel jig steady while I drill the holes. Also, a folded piece of sandpaper. It prevents the knuckle from spinning uncontrollably. Now, freehand and touch by touch, I make a shallow drill. It's just to center the hole properly. I tilt the drill bit as needed to one side or the other until I get the hole centered. There it is, a well-centered hole. Look how good they come out. I don't drill the entire length at once. I do a little more than half from one side. I repeat the centering on the other side of the knuckle, and finish drilling the other half of the length. You can't imagine how many pieces like this I threw away before coming up with this method to do it right. Now I have all the knuckles for the wooden hinge pin. With this sheet of wood, I'm going to make the leaves for the hinge. Before cutting the 2 pieces, I'm going to use a round nose router bit to route the seat for the knuckles. I'll sand this a bit. The knuckles will go like this. I'll cut the 2 leaves. Now I need to make sure that the hinge pin will fit into the holes. I placed it in the drill press, but that way I cannot sand it. This notch in this piece of wood will help me hold the dowel while I sand it. And now it fits. With some wooden beads, I make a few decorations. I mount the knuckles on the hinge pin. I mark the length of the hinge leaves. And cut them. Now I glue the alternating knuckles to one leaf and the others to the other leaf. I must be careful that the CA glue doesn't spread beyond the length of each knuckle. Now, this knuckle and this one belong to this leaf. I add more glue to reinforce, again being careful that the glue doesn't go beyond the knuckle. The same with the others on the other leaf. I removed the hinge pin. Everything is well glued. And now we're going to finish making this hinge look really nice. I sand everything well. I make the holes for the screws. Holes with their proper countersink, of course. Notice how, by not making a pilot hole, the hard grain deflects the countersink bit. The hinge pin decorations are still missing. I insert the pin. Apply CA glue around the pin, but on the knuckle. I place the decoration in place. I remove the pin and let the CA glue dry. Now I insert the pin all the way into the wooden finial I already glued. I measure the depth of the other decoration. And that's how much the pin should stick out on this side. I cut it. There it is. I glue the other finial directly to the end of the hinge pin. And as soon as it dries, I can assemble everything. Look how beautiful this wooden hinge turns out. Thanks for watching the video, and if you like my videos, subscribe and hit the bell.